Good evening. My name is Keith Romano. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Inland Wetlands Commission meeting for the town of Monroe. It is March 11th, 2020, and the time is 7:03 p.m. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to introduce the members of the commission, staff present tonight. Starting on my right is B.J. Hall, Clark Gingras, Ross Mastrocco, Jim Stewart, who's a certified engineer and licensed surveyor. Is that how I say it? Right?
Close enough.
Close enough. In the state of Connecticut. Myself, Keith Romano. Jim is not here. Lois Spence, who's our vice chair and secretary still?
Yeah.
Okay. Donna Szynski, who's our office manager, and our inland wetlands agent is not here tonight, Denise, and we have Sarah Stroud as a recording secretary. Before we start, I'll read our mission statement and how the meeting will proceed. Inland Wetlands Mission Statement. The objective and purpose of the Inland Wetlands Commission is to provide for the overall protection and preservation of the inland wetlands and watercourses within the town of Monroe. Meeting procedure. In the normal course of our meetings, we will hear public hearings and other applications. The protocol for public hearings is to have an applicant make a presentation to the commission, during which and after which the commission will be asking the applicant questions. The commission will then review town staff or other independent comments. The meeting will then be open for public comment. I will ask that all comments be made to the chair or commission. After any and all comments pro and opposition or of a general nature are made, the applicant will be given the opportunity to respond. It is not necessary that the applicant respond, but generally in their best interest to do so. There will be no further opportunity for new questions unless new material is entered in as evidence or testimony during the response. Please keep all comments pro and con specific to inland wetlands related matters. Other applications that do not involve a public hearing will follow a similar format with the exception that there will be no public comments allowed. The meeting follows our published agenda unless there are any, unless otherwise amended. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes. So I do have a time extension for IWC. Oh my gosh, it's item 9 under time extensions. IWC 2019-12R 4 Main Street 5 Victoria are requesting a 90-day extension, and under the Department of Public Works permitted use as of right. They are replacing failing and deteriorating drainage pipe within a drainage easement through 21 and 25 Greenwood Drive, and that is under item 10B, permitted uses. And that is it, those two changes.
Okay. At this point in the meeting, we have, it's called general public participation. Anybody in the audience have anything they want to say in a general nature to the commission? Okay. Excellent. You do? Oh, sure. Come on up. Please, at the microphone, state your name, address.
Jim Del Medico, 17 Enterprise Drive. I know I'm on the docket for something tonight, but they say nothing's going to be done until the following 2 weeks.
Well, because tonight the commission is just doing a review and determining what type of review, whether it's a public hearing or a just a regular review of the amendment.
Okay, so it's going to push it back. I'm trying to put up the building now. I've been
I
trying for a couple of
understand that,
years.
but it has to go through statutorily, it has to go through its process.
Okay. So what, they'll come back up in 2 weeks then? You have a meeting in 2 weeks?
We do have a meeting. It depends on what the commission determines this evening and what type of review they want to do.
Okay.
If it's going to be a public hearing, it will be longer because you will have to notify the abutters. But if it's...
What do you think it's going to be? You would let me know
No,
now?
well,
It's not too far down the line here.
yeah,
I'm not? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get to it, and we'll know exactly what's going on. Okay, subdivision report recommendations to P&Z Commission, none. Regulated activities. IWC 2020-01, 536 Monroe Turnpike, gas station, underground tank removal and replacement, septic replacement, storm drainage installation, asphalt removal and replacement, building addition, well replacement, and trash enclosure. Public hearing continued from 2/26/2020.
Good evening. Attorney Dominic Thomas, Cohen and Thomas, 350 Main Street, Derby, Connecticut, representing the applicant. This is a continuation of the public hearing. Just to review certain requests made, relocating the propane tank. And this is here for the engineering firm to explain that. We'll note today that I received an updated report from your engineer, Scott Chatzine, today, which he had under stormwater control. He indicated that item 1 is no longer needed because the crushed stone is added along the edge of the pavement. In item 2, he pointed out something which I'm going to reiterate concerning the fact that we're decreasing the impervious area, and he, as a result of that, noted that the crushed stone strip along the edge of the pavement there would not be needed, and then he left his note in there that the limits of the elevation should be shown, and the floodplain should be shown. I think that was explained the last time as to what the issues with that are, and that any of those items concerning floodplain or bond can be handled after planning and zoning. This is, I don't want to say it's an unusual situation, but it is a situation, I just want to reiterate, where the existing condition, the existing site, as it is used for a gas station and repair garage, has no protections. No protections of the wetlands. It has no storm drainage. It has an outdated septic system. It's under requirement to remove tanks. So frankly, we're sitting here before you, and I think it's reflected in the staff reports and everything, that we are going to do things that are going to remove whatever adverse impact exists right now in the existing site. We're going to be removing the pavement, putting in new pavement, and in such, reducing the amount of pavement. We're going to be, and I know Mark Smith, the engineer, who's not here tonight, his associates here, indicated he's walked the site with Denise and reviewed the plantings, reviewed the removal of the scrub, the septic system, which as part of these new plans you asked for, even though your health department's already approved it and the plans are on file, we provided copies in the new set of plans of the new updated code compliant septic system. So I think, I don't want to repeat, even though I wasn't here, Attorney Cole from my office was here last time, I don't want to repeat and go over the entire presentation, but I think it is a point that that we are actually taking an existing situation and improving it. And I'll be frank, my client wants to start as soon as possible. There is a pending minor application, and whether or not you choose to act on this tonight, under the statute, you can, as people often misinterpret, they say Wetlands has to act before planning and zoning acts. That's not correct. Under 8-3, I think it's GI, G1, it says that Wetlands has issued a report. And so the point is that my client wants to begin the process that needs to commence to make all these improvements as soon as possible. And I think, I'm saying that to you because I think by doing so, it's a protective measure against the wetlands. So with that, I will call on David Feast to come up and review the set of plans that we submitted, which have just a few minor changes that were requested by this commission at the last public hearing.
Good evening, my name is David Feist. Mark Smith is the design engineer of the project. I assisted with the drainage design on the project. I know that based on discussion with Mark, I think he went through in detail at the last hearing, all the changes and everything that was done. So really, I believe everything was made and submitted to the commission. So I'd be here to answer any additional questions if you have them. I do know from the drainage design perspective, we are reducing the impervious area of the project and providing treatment for a 1-inch storm, just with a small stormwater basin at the rear of the site. So again, I'd be happy to answer any questions or if there's additional information.
So for the record, can you just spell your last name for me?
Sure, it's Faist.
Thank you. Which one did we get last week?
Was it this, I think this one hasn't got a date on it, so,
Yes, which one is
because I
it?
had written on something, and I just wanted to try to find it.
Do we have the notes on what we had asked to have changed on the plans from last time without forgetting?
Denise probably had it in her notes.
I think the propane tank was gonna be turned or something.
Right, and they
Right,
did do
that's it.
that.
And they were gonna put on the LOD line, which they did.
I know, and
So-
unfortunately Denise has not had a chance to look at these maps. She's actually been out sick this entire week, so.
Now, your
She's having a tough time.
screen trash enclosure, that's gonna be a paved area?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, is that proposed to be pitched back to the parking lot?
What's the date on this?
If you look,
Or
let's
is
see.
it pitched towards the wetland?
Most likely it'd be level or pitched towards the parking lot.
Okay,
So, as a general design.
I'm just wondering, because you didn't carry the stone wrap around it.
I mean, most likely, again, the pitch towards the parking lot is usually
Okay.
how it's constructed.
You know, without Denise, I don't want to, she did ask a question that I'm sure she would bring up tonight, which we answered, which was, in the replacement of the well, what do you have to do to close the old well? So we had, because the old well is on the other side of the brook. And so the health department was called by the client, and it's a manual thing. How would you walk across? And this is where I should have, Attorney Cole, I think you cap it and put something in it, so in other words, there's no excavation. You don't remove them, you just cap it and everything like that. So, and that we responded to that to Denise. Didn't realize she wasn't gonna be here until recently, that unfortunately, we wasn't gonna be here tonight. But I did want to report that she did ask that question, and we did answer it, which is a very legitimate question. That well, the old well is on the other side of the brook.
Is there there's not city water available to that,
Well,
to that address?
I understand, I don't know if you were here last time, it was
I wasn't.
explained, we did our reports. I've done the 8-3I reports to the water companies. A lot of times, this is the first time I actually got a response. So we responded, and the request was made, well, what, can you hook up to water line? And the response back was, it is completely economically unfeasible to do what Aquarian wants us to do, which would be to run the main down, all the way down to in front of our building. However, we offered to Aquarian, we said, if you would, and we responded to Joe Welsh, and I'm not sure if, I think the emails were presented, I'm not sure if Attorney Cole did. We responded to Joe Welsh from, and I know Joe's head of conservation, Shelton Land Trust in Shelton, so I've dealt with him before. And we responded to him that if the Aquarian would allow us to do a lateral, that we would be able to do that. But to take the whole main down,
I figured it would be there for the shopping center, but
Right.
it's not.
well, it is, I don't know, and you know, Mark really dealt with that, because he went back and forth with Joe Welsh on it. You know, Joe requested the full set of plans, we sent him the full set of plans, he did an analysis, and that was the request, and the response was to put the main down, have to open the road, take the whole main down, everything like that, was one thing. But to do it with just a lateral was completely, you know, was acceptable.
Yeah.
And, in fact, Mark's email said, if Aquarium decides to let us do it, we'll do it. I mean, we'd much rather do it that way, but they never responded in the positive. I think they have a policy that you have to run, if you're gonna do that, you have to run the main down. And there is obviously economies of scale when you're doing such a small project like this, it creates financial situation. But we did offer to accommodate them if they would just make that one exception.
Don't you have more longevity if you're on city water versus well as far as the new equipment going in?
You're getting over my pay grade, but I'm not, but I'm sure it would be, I mean, the client said they would hook up.
Yeah,
If they could
I
do
figured it
that.
would be there because you have a
Yeah.
large shopping center across the street, but if
Yeah.
it's not, it's not. No big Y and all that? No,
I can't imagine,
that it's not
I
there.
don't know.
And they go up anywhere else
Well,
up that
they're
bank.
always, Big Y's been there a long
Yeah,
time.
the
Before city.
representative of Standard Petroleum is here, and they did actually look into it. It was well north of $100,000 to do what aquarium requires. They have certain policies, and that was what the problem. But again, do want to stress that we told them, if there's a way you can grant us a lateral, that they would do.
Okay.
I thank you for making all the changes on the plans. I had a couple of things that I noticed that were a little bit, needed a little bit more definition, maybe, or just clarification, that's the word I think I'm looking for. On your LOD line.
What sheet are you on? Which sheet are you on?
I'm looking at it, looking for it.
You can, we can actually, it's up here. Yeah, you can use the mouse, your mouse will work up there too.
The LOD is on C 2.0.
Okay, so we're on that,
This one here?
yep.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, and I know, again, Mark Smith had most of the conversations, but from what I understand, they came out, they located some of the existing trees, if I remember correctly, and walked it with Denise
Right.
to come up with the limit of disturbance line that's shown on the plan.
That's perfect, perfect. That was good, thank you, that was one of the things we had asked. The markers, you have the markers at, it appears to be 7 markers along the LOD line. The only, I think they're, either we need to rearrange them or something. I'm assuming that's what the M with a circle on it is?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't look at the legend.
Correct,
The one
would be
that
these
is the
markers.
closest to the, what we normally do is we put them 50 feet apart if they're straight line, and then any angle points. So in that corner down there where it turns, you may want to move the marker a little bit more to the north and put it right in that corner, just so that kind of marks the, it was a really minor little detail, but I just wanted to say that maybe that's a good place to put it, because the rest of them look like they're very well done. Now, another question I had was I was looking at the detention basin, and something just doesn't look, not detention, water quality basin. Something didn't look right to me. What is, the base elevation of that is 473? If you want to blow that up, you might be able to see it better.
That's the grade, you've seen the grade line.
Oh, that's a grade line. So what is the base elevation of the basin?
So if you can see in here, so it looks at, so the bottom elevation is around 472. It's not very deep, it's a very shallow basin, because again, we didn't need a lot of storage, given the amount of impervious area.
Right.
You can see the top 473, 474 as you go up towards the building. The actual top of the berm, 472.75, is the spillway area where it would overflow. So 472.75 minus 472, it's only about 9 inches or so in depth, but gives enough basically to provide that 1 inch of storage for the water quality storm.
Well, but there's a line that says 474, right below the 472.
Correct. That unfortunately looks like a typo from our draftsman. So If you can see the 474 up here, 473, 472.
That's the existing grade line.
474 is existing. 473.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Those
I'm
are
sorry,
existing lines,
473,
you can't
yes.
see them. Those are the
Okay,
existing.
they're existing.
Those are the shaded, the rest of the line is
Yeah,
shaded
yeah, the
out.
dark one, that's
But
correct.
the numbers are a little bold, so it looks like it's just a random
Okay.
elevation.
Yes.
That's-
Because that, to me, it made it look like a trench down, going
Oh,
down
I
the
see.
center of
Yep.
the berm, which didn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah,
All right,
470,
so the base is 472, and the top of it is 474, and the spillway is at 472, 75.
correct.
Is there supposed to be some kind of a spillway, riprap spillway or something to protect that?
Actually, given the flows are very, very minimal, actually grass will be fine,
Okay.
I believe is why we propose grass instead of riprap in this particular case.
Okay. Have we ever determined where the groundwater was on this?
Groundwater, I believe basically, we use basically sort of the floodplain elevation in that area, just at the bottom of the basin, in order to make sure we kept it above there. So again, this is a particular case where this particular site does not have any stormwater drainage whatsoever at this particular point. And again, this was really the only sort of improvement that we had area to make it in, so.
Right, understood. I just
Yep.
didn't want, I mean, it's not designed as a wet bottom pond, right?
Correct. That
But
is
if you
correct.
intercept groundwater, it's gonna be.
Correct. And so again, the existing grade in that area is 473, we're only digging down a foot. If you look at the brook, elevation is down a little lower than that. So based on at least the information we looked at, we believe it's above the groundwater.
Okay. Oh, I know what was, you have your silt fence in the middle of the wooded area, beyond the LOD. Now, we don't normally do that. First of all, wouldn't it make more sense to use a different kind of fence other than a dog silt fence? And Aquarian suggests hay wattles.
I believe, out of curiosity, was that discussed at the last hearing?
No, it was not, and I had, well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to have the plans for the extra
Yep,
week, so that we got a
okay.
chance to look at them.
Yep.
And having the silt fence in the middle of beyond the LOD just doesn't make any sense, because you wouldn't be disturbing up to there.
Correct, understood.
Right, so-
And that unfortunately, Mark Smith, isn't here. Again, if it needs to be moved in front of there, that's an easy fix. Or if it needs to be a condition of approval, that's definitely an easy thing we can change. It's not an issue. So,
The only
should
thing
be-
I can remember is a discussion that there's going to be some grub clearing. And this is
Oh, that
overgrown
could-
quite a bit. So I think the reason it's where it is because there's gonna be grub clearing.
Mechanic, by hand or by machine?
That's unfortunately without Denise here, because Denise and Mark walked the site and went through all of that as to what they were gonna do.
Yeah, that could be, I'm not sure, I know the landscape architect, I know he done a
They were-
planting
yeah,
plan
she
as
was
well.
here, the landscape architect was here at the last meeting with Mark Smith.
And I
It's
could-
my,
And I could see in a case like that, if they were gonna do some hand clearing in there, part of that may have been why the silt fence was in there. Again, I can't answer it for sure. However, again, if it's a condition of approval.
Yeah.
I think the silt fence and the LOD should be the same line, because if you're not, if that's, going in and pulling some bushes, if the limited disturbance would be, that's the maximum distance a machine would go.
Yep.
Right? And you go, we've had this recently in the past before, it's gonna be anybody's right to use a machine to go in and dig in the silt fence, and you're just gonna do more damage to the environment putting a silt fence in the woods, so I think
They've got plants in between those two lines.
Oh, that's,
I
yeah,
think they're
that,
just ferns, aren't they?
They are
Looks like the
those,
Cinnamon ferns or something?
Can I make a
they're
suggestion?
the shrubs. Sassafras.
I'll look up at the sassafras.
Can I make a suggestion that simply, since Mark and Denise walked the site, that you condition the moving of the silt fence upon coordination with your staff, especially Denise and your engineer, to determine what is the best location, given what has to be done in the landscape plan for the brook.
Yeah.
So we have no problem moving it, but we'd rather, I don't want the commission doing something since your staff isn't here that's in opposite to what they were suggesting to our engineer.
Yeah, and even in any of the silt
it's
fencing
really-
would be installed by hand as well.
Yeah, there's nothing big.
Well, Aquarian recommends hay wattles, and I personally prefer silt socks or hay wattles or something like that, rather than Doug's silt fence.
Yep.
So if we could come up with something different, what would you suggest?
Yeah, I guess either a 9 or a 12-inch straw wattle are very, common things to be used instead of silt fence as well.
Okay, can we make it 12, just because it's right along the river and Aquarian would be
What's
happier
the-
that way?
Yep,
Yeah,
and
but
those-
it's
There's a problem with the
Yeah.
silt fence. What's the problem?
It's gotta be dug.
yeah, wattles just sit on the
That's the-
ground and can be staked in.
Actually,
guess
it's
it's one or the
cheaper to
other.
use straw wattles. I did some research,
I like to hear that.
and it's a better, it's more effective
Again,
control.
it's one of those things that's often, and either suggestion, whatever it is acceptable, but I think if you have trust in your staff and the city engineer and Denise, they can make determinations out there as to what is best when they're out there, and it may be a combination of both.
It's not always her job.
That's
You see,
Okay.
It's the commission's job to make
Well,
these decisions,
I-
and it's the agent's job to see that the commission's
Understood.
wishes are done. So it's really putting an onus on her that is not her responsibility.
Well, I'm
So-
not putting the onus on her, I'm just saying that part of this was developed by her and the engineer out there, and unfortunately, she's not here, yeah. And that's,
Unfortunately, Mark isn't
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay.
But that'd be acceptable, so.
Are you done?
Yeah.
You're all set?
Oh, we got some too.
I was just making sure we keep moving.
The side note, I see that you put the sizes on the plan, as Denise had asked. And going back to Aquarian's letter. That's not gonna do it. That's the wrong one. Nope, it's fine. That's all I got. So you're okay with straw wattles?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Any commissioners, am I right, have any other comments or questions? So if we just,
One informational question. On that slide you were just on previously, back to the basin, there is a note down there that says, small bit, proposed infiltration basin, infiltration testing required for final design. There you are, right above the one that's kind of double typed there.
Yep, I believe, in speaking with Mark, I believe that he had discussed either with Scott Schatzline or Denise as far as when it's under construction, just to verify the soil conditions during construction.
Okay,
Just
and then,
as opposed to having to dig things up twice, so.
okay, thank you.
we're all set? Okay. You go for
Basically,
final
we're done, I
comment?
think, yes, again, I just want to reiterate the fact that this is a situation where we're taking not a virgin piece of property and disturbing it, we're taking a disturbed piece of property and making it better. So we think, that we hope that they will be able to act on this positively, and then we can proceed on with the improvements, which are going to protect the wetlands and the water course more than they are right now. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along, enforcement.
This is public.
No, this is a
Public
public
hearing.
Oh,
hearing,
close it.
and I also have to read the thing, so you want
That's
to
right.
comment?
Oh, any public, that's right.
It's okay.
See what happens when this, is there anybody in attendance who'd like to speak in favor of this application? Anybody like to speak against this application? Does anybody have anything to say in a general nature about this application? All right, and, oh, you're gonna read out the
And
record?
so, yep, so, exhibits 1 through 7 were read in at the last meeting, so I'm going to start with exhibit 8, which was a updated plan set of the filling station renovations by CMG. The document was dated November 19th, 2019. Revision date was March 3rd, 2020. Exhibit 9 was a letter to Spath Bajorklin from the Town of Monroe Health Department, Rich Jackson, dated October 15th, 2018. Exhibit 10 was a letter to Spath Bajorklin from the Town of Monroe Health Department, Rich Jackson. The document was dated November 16th, 2018. Exhibit 11 was a two-sheet plan set titled Site Plan by Spath Bajorklin. The document was dated September 11th, 2018. The revision date was October 31st, 2018. And exhibit number 12 is updated engineering comments by Scott Schatzline. The document was dated February 21st, 2020, and the revision date was March 11th, 2020. And that's it.
All right, so that closes the hearing for IWC 2020-01. Okay, now we're on to the next one. Of course, there's nothing. Application hearing determination. This is for IWC 2019-09A1, 17 Enterprise Drive, amendment to previously approved site development, outdoor storage area to be paved and graded, extension of detention basin, addition of subsurface detention to accommodate increased impervious surface. I think that means surface. And additional landscape planting required under P&Z approval.
So the commission got those who I think wanted it, got some updated information. And they accepted it at the last meeting, so tonight we're just determining what type of review you would like to see. So we need a
This was on
motion.
public hearing last time, is that right? And this is just amendment to it?
This is just an amendment, yes.
So it's technically been through a public hearing. I move to bring this to a regular meeting, in that there is no further significant damage that we can see, or impact rather. And it's already been through a public hearing, and I don't believe there was a lot of public that had any interest, so.
Second.
We have a motion to move this application to a, what is it, regular meeting?
Regular meeting.
Motion by Commissioner Spence, second by Commissioner Stewart. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes, regular meeting, which will be the next meeting.
Yes. No.
No, because it was accepted already
Yes.
previously. Okay.
That's an 18th
So
regular meeting?
it's going to go for review at the next meeting.
What kind of review is that? Just a normal meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just means it's not a public hearing.
It's not a public hearing.
Public can come and see,
Yeah,
if
that's
there's no comment
Okay.
from the public.
And what are my chances of getting approved? That's all I has to be done.
That we can't tell you until we'd have to go through it with your engineer and everything.
Just come
so.
along and find out.
So the meeting will
Okay.
be March 25th.
Got to get a good record.
March
We'll look at the
25th.
record.
Yes.
We'll look at the record.
The meetings are held every 2 weeks.
All right, thanks.
All right. Other, 13 Flint Ridge Road, extend existing drainage pipe.
This is the part where
Donna's wearing a lot of hats tonight.
Well, I'm actually not wearing a hat because I cannot really speak to these things. These were Denise's, the existing
Do you want to
drainage.
put it off till?
Yeah,
we can. We
that
want-
actually does need to be tabled. I cannot speak for the issue on that.
All right.
And I can give you a heads up, I'm sorry, on the next one.
Okay, so, we're gonna table,
Table, Flint
13
Ridge.
Flint Ridge Road till the next meeting. Next is V 12-04, 8643 High Rock Road, remediation issues to be discussed.
So it's my understanding that this went into citation and it's a lawsuit. This is Mr. Ostrovsky's, his property that straddles Monroe and Newtown. And apparently it's my understanding that there is a judge that's looking to see what the commission wants, what they're willing to accept to somehow solve this. Again, I don't have any details, that's,
Would you like me to update you, since I'm one of the lawyers?
that's all the information I know, and it's something Denise needs to speak to, but it's the commission's purview.
We'll table V 12-4 to,
We'd have
Well,
to
there's
determine
no,
whether it's a
I
public
mean, it is what it
or
is. There's,
regular meeting.
and this is obviously very old if it's 12-4.
yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so
And
2004.
just for the record, he's a friend of mine, so I won't be in here for that.
Okay, all
So,
right,
recuse
so,
myself on that.
it's up to the commission what they want to do. If you want to table till Denise can explain.
I think we should. This is
Yeah, because
legal matters.
we'll have to decide whether it's a public or a regular
No.
meeting.
No,
We don't
there's
know
no-
the details. We
There's
don't know the
no,
details.
there's no actual
Oh, there's not gonna be any
application.
actions on this?
No, there's no, right now, this is just a discussion. There's nothing submitted. This is something that I believe has gone to a lawsuit. And the presiding judge is looking, I guess, for input. It's my, I think, from the commission.
We're gonna have to table that then. There's no
Okay,
way.
yeah, because I don't,
If you could have some paperwork for us, like whatever the background, because I mean.
yeah, this is
2012,
old.
I-
Well, and that's the problem. Denise is kind of jumping into it
I
too
might have
because she
some of it at
doesn't.
home.
That's
but,
obviously, that's not very common either, that we're requesting information for a lawsuit, is that? I mean, we haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
No.
Common with lawsuits.
And I
But is it- but in this
I
commission,
don't know
so-
if I'm misspeaking, so I don't want to, but like I
Yeah.
said, it's my understanding, but that's why I think it should be,
Yeah.
you should hear from Denise, because I am not the inland wetland agent,
Right, you are not.
or privy to those conversations.
Okay.
Okay, so we're done with the others.
All right, you want to table it?
Yes, we're gonna table,
Okay,
table for the next meeting.
okay,
And some background.
all right, I'll try and get,
I'll see if I can dig up.
I don't think I still have it around.
Moving right
I
on.
have a lot of my
Okay,
old.
we're ready, deliberation on completed hearings. Completed items on this agenda, and that would be, I don't see that.
536 Monroe Turnpike.
Yeah,
Hey, I'd like to make a motion
okay.
that we approve 536 Monroe Turnpike with our standard list of conditions, in addition to that the paved trash enclosure be either pitched towards the parking lot or the stone strip be wrapped around the entire area. That
That the paved,
That the,
say that
that
again?
the paved trash enclosure
536, right?
Yes,
Yes.
be pitched towards the parking lot, or the stone strip be extended around its circumference.
Are there bollards needed in front of the propane tank?
That's
not-
something we can
it's-
put in our comment to P and Z.
It's
That's
in a
not-
parking, it's in a planting area. So-
There's plenty, I'm sure plenty of regulation on that.
Yeah, that's what I need to look at, drive over this.
It's
But anyway,
Okay.
number two, that the nearest wetland marker be relocated to the bend in the LOD line.
Which is wetland flag 12.
That's the closest
area.
spot to the brook.
Number three,
That's where they clean.
uh, the- Number 3, the silt fence shall be changed to 12-inch straw wattles. And number 5, I guess it is.
4.
4? Okay, the location of the, no, it's straw wattles shall be confirmed and relocated as required by the wetlands staff.
Four conditions?
I don't know if we can do that, Jim.
You
I'll
want
let
it,
my-
you want the,
You've got a
final
motion on the
location.
table, we gotta finish the motion.
okay.
And do we want to add more conditions? Because I've got a couple too, when you're done, when you're done.
I'm done.
So I have the.
We can put that under
The
the
fence shall
discussion
be
part of
changed
the.
to 12-inch straw wattles and the fence moved. The fence moved per staff? or what?
This, the location of the fence shall be confirmed by the wetlands staff and relocated as necessary.
You're talking about the wattles?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a big
I said fence.
And can I ask, how is that spelled?
WATTLES.
Oh, thank you.
Just the way you
That
think.
was, no, I was
No,
spelling
no.
it completely.
I had to look it up
I
on
was
the
thinking
internet.
waddle.
It's Wattle, it's Wattle. with a T.
Thank you.
Okay. Good job, Jim.
Just trying to hurry
We have
things along,
we have
you
a
know?
motion
Wait a
to,
minute, I want to add
well, it's just confirming. We have a
Okay, I'm
motion
gonna
from Commissioner
second
Stewart to
Jim's motion.
to approve the plans with conditions. We have a second? I know we did. Second.
And
Okay,
now discussion.
no discussion.
A second from.
Lo-
Did you have more conditions though?
I
I
thought-
thought you were gonna second it
I
with your
thought Lois
condition.
just, I
Well, no,
just,
she can tell
I
me your
can second
conditions
it,
and I
but we
can,
can-
I
we
can
can add
re-amend
that.
my
Okay, I
motion,
gotcha.
or you
We'll
can.
do that.
okay, so I have, Jim did the motion, Lois did a second.
Mhm.
We have Jim's
Yep,
proposed conditions.
now we're discussing.
Okay, and we're gonna, okay, in the discussion part, we can either, if you're gonna amend your motion.
Well, if you just tell us what conditions
Okay.
you'd like to see,
Yeah, let's hear what you want, what
All
you'd
right.
like to hear, and then we'll discuss.
and then we'll see how,
Okay, well, this discussion.
see if I
after we
wanna
add the
fight
rest of
you
the-
with them.
No fighting, no fighting. That's a discussion point, I think. Aquarian asked that, I guess we have to let them know. We have to let the Aquarian knows what the decision is and notification prior to the start of any soil disturbing activities. That, I guess that should go on, that's not a condition for the applicant, but it is a condition for us. How do we do that? I don't
Why
know,
would
that's
it be
what
a
it
condition
says.
for us?
Well, because we're supposed to know,
Oh,
we're supposed to
okay.
let them know when the work is gonna start, before they start.
Okay,
So
so
that,
we're looking at notifying Aquarian.
yeah, but that's not an applicant responsibility, that's our responsibility apparently. Unless we can ask the applicant to do it.
Well, we already.
Well, don't they get
posted
notified with the decision?
that. Yeah,
Wasn't that
Yeah, Aquarian wants to know
Prior
them.
to excavation, they're already
Right,
notified.
prior to the start of any soil disturbance. So,
So if we notify them that there's an approval, then there you go, they're notified.
If they call before you dig, it's gonna go to everybody.
does it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not in construction. Okay. So I guess we need to, wait, there was one more thing that I forgot to bring up during the hearing that perhaps we can add on as a P and Z comment. We didn't talk about the lighting. We never talked about any security lighting or anything. Normally, we request a lighting plan and a lighting grid to make sure that nothing is going into the wetland area, so that it's all dark sky compliant, and that it's, there's cutoff fixtures and stuff. So I'm thinking that we should add that on to P and Z comments to make sure that that's done.
Yeah.
Does that sound like, okay, if you wanted to put in your bollards, that would be the time for the P and Z.
I think it's needed.
I'm sure there's
gotta be
regulations, I would
that they have
imagine,
to
to have to
follow
go
for
with that.
safety on a
think
gas
there's a
station
I can't
detail
imagine
that they're not gonna
that
miss.
it isn't.
So you
Certainly
want
not.
Oh, no, yeah,
to
they
come in
should,
dark
once they
sky
start to take it out,
compliant?
they have to test before they,
Lighting.
once the tank comes
At
out,
least cutoff fixtures.
everything is tested
Cutoff
around there. If
fixtures,
there's
that
any
no-
contamination, which,
No light
that's been in that ground
extends into the
for
wetlands.
how many years?
Or we're talking bollards.
Oh.
So,
About.
discussion-wise, I wanted to mention that I don't think it's fair. We can't really put the location of the LOD on Denise. That's not her purview.
I wasn't putting the LOD on her, I was putting the silt fence on her.
Let's just say that for now, it's
They should be the
where
same.
the
If you guys are happy
Same.
with where, if you're happy with where it is,
LOD, I think the LOD and the silt fence should be the same.
well,
I
the-
Or
agree,
still
I
swaddles,
agree.
waddles.
well, the problem is
Yeah.
if they're putting
Yeah, that's
plants
controls.
behind that.
Yeah, but they're small, they're all small. And even if someone was to drive in to do one little hole, they're gonna still do more damage trying to put the silt fence behind it than digging the one hole. I mean, everybody landscapes their yard and puts in 5 or 6 landscape trees, they don't put in silt fence.
Okay.
They go in to do their work, they clean it up, and they go.
Okay.
Well, for some reason it didn't register. How much work did they say they were gonna clear out brush?
There's some undergrowth, I think, or
they're
invasive,
probably
I don't know
taking-
what it is.
Yeah, well, all that property
Invasives
back there, all
out,
that stuff
brush.
is,
But their limited
It's junk.
disturbance is the limited disturbance, so that means that no activity, significant activity should happen past that line.
Right, so do we
So-
ask them to move the LOD then back to
No,
the
That's
proposed?
they're telling us that's our limited disturbance. So that means that what they're saying is that we're not going beyond this line to do any work.
Except they
If
told us
they
we are
find
gonna
out that they
run.
made a mistake, a gross mistake, they'll have to come back in front of us to get
Well,
their LOD moved.
other than plantings and
Yeah, the
removing,
plantings,
and
landscape.
removing brush.
Yeah, but they said that it was small, all planting list is all 1 gallon and 24-inch stuff.
So you're talking about limited disturbance as far as excavation.
Yeah, like disturbance, I mean, walking through with a shovel isn't gonna, you could, all day, you can't disturb the ground, right? You can't,
I'm all over it. I just don't want the person in the field saying, hey, whoa, that's a little
Depends-
disturbed, don't go back
Keith,
there.
it depends on
That's-
how many people are walking
that's
into
up
the
front.
shovel, though. If
The
you
3-inch
have,
calipers or the
you have
maples.
Oh, that was in
10,000
the
people
parking lot.
walking into the shovels.
Yeah, but.
That's
you know
a-
what I'm saying,
then you
they're
have
going out to
disturbance.
pull out some stuff, but, they're not gonna be driving.
I'm liking my motion more and more, the more you guys talk about it.
Yeah, it's good.
Such a quick motion you made, Jim. All right, so we can, what we can do is say that we want the LOD to be where it is on the plan.
Yes.
And that the wattles will go on that LOD, and that no machinery is to go beyond that LOD.
Okay?
If they want to do all the hand
fair.
planting in the world, they can, because that's not
Yeah.
gonna do as much disruption as machinery will, because it is right next to the brook. And it is, sloping down toward the brook. So it is a good idea that we not have machinery back there.
Okay?
And if they have to, then they can come back for some kind of amendment,
Clarification, yeah, but I
Okay.
think,
Or-
but
or
looking at that
whatever,
plant
you know.
list, I
modification.
don't see why anybody would go in with anything significant.
Okay, so no machinery beyond LOD.
That's basically what it means.
That is what it means, I agree. Okay.
All right.
The other thing is, just to mention that, the town engineer did, recommend a $4,000 bond.
Okay. Okay.
Wetlands bond?
Okay, that's all I had. It was a good motion.
Okay, I would like to amend my motion to eliminate the one about the staff and the waddles and add Lois's 2 motions, 1 motion?
It was,
Was there-
it
was there
really
2?
wasn't a motion, it was
It was
just
just a note.
conditions.
Okay, her conditions, sorry.
That's why I don't like
Her
putting the
conditions,
conditions in
including the
amendment.
$4,000 wetlands bond.
Before you vote on it, can I just go over what I heard
Please.
Yes.
to confirm?
So the
Okay.
motion has been amended and still seconded by
You want to,
Mr. Smith?
you want to second it again?
Sure, I'll second it again.
Okay. So I have that the paved, trashed enclosed area, enclosure be pitched toward the parking lot, or a stone strip surround the entire circumference.
Yeah.
And the nearest wetland marker, flag number 12, was to be moved to the bend of the, was it the LOD line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The silt fence shall be changed to be 12-inch straw wattles. And the 12-inch wattles will be moved to follow the LOD line and no machinery beyond LOD. There was a $4,000 bond, and the P and Z comments were to request that the lighting be dark sky compliant or cut off fixtures.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. You can eliminate the dark sky compliant.
Okay, or-
Just go for that they, they should be cut off and that no light should extend,
light
what's
should
the word I'm
spill.
looking for, spill into the wetland area? Usually we have a lighting metric
pollute.
or
The word
something like
pollute.
that, so that it shows us how, where the lighting is. What, Keith?
So maybe pollute is the word you're looking for? Pollute the wetland, light pollution? No?
But there's a word I'm looking at, just no light should extend into the
Right.
wetland or something like that, it should end
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
And what is that called, when
Mostly-
they do that lighting graph?
Gonna be
You just said it.
Is it a metric?
Candle.
It is a metric,
Okay,
yes.
okay, because usually I've meant to ask them for a lighting metric.
Okay, so that's what I have.
Okay.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes unanimously.
So is this one that you're not requesting a draft, you just want me to have these
Just-
conditions
yep.
and we'll do it? Okay,
So
okay.
direct staff to
And all the standard ones too, obviously.
Yes,
to
and the
draft
standard
a
conditions.
letter of acceptance.
Yep, approval.
Okay. All right, next we are at bond release reduction reports. IWC-2014-1101, 462 and 464 Main Street, bond release request. That is solar.
Now, I don't really know what to do about this. Kevin came in. Oh, no, that's the one. Okay.
You want to table these two?
No.
Yeah, I can't find mine.
Here. 36, that's the same one.
Break the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, there was paperwork that you got for this one. The bond is $26,000. And I did ask Kevin what they were looking for, and he did not respond to me. So there was a permit inspection report done on that, and so I guess it's up to the commission what you would like to do. They were discussing the report.
Have they met all the conditions? I mean, it's been inspected, they must have passed.
No,
No.
you have your report, and I think it's worth reading. You also got some, well,
When did we pay?
you got it last week.
I got the one for 464, right? Same
No, there's a
thing?
letter dated January 15th, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
stapled
I
to
don't seem to
the,
have it.
it's stapled to
Here.
the 464 permanent inspection report.
Yes.
I've got it around somewhere.
Okay, so there's a punch list.
But there's nothing
Oh.
like checking these off that they've been completed. Where-
Not been provided, no release.
Well, if there's a punch list at all, we shouldn't
Yeah.
let it
We need
go.
a motion to do this?
Yeah.
Motion that we deny the bond release for 462 Main Street.
Got a motion from Commissioner Stewart to deny the bond release. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gingers, right? Right, seconded. All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes, denied bond release for a reason. Do we have to give a reason?
The
Because
punch
of
list.
the, because of the punch list.
There's
The
too many.
significant punch
Undeleted
list.
items on the punch list.
Okay. Thank you. Moving along here. 36 Timothy Hill Road, remaining bond release requested.
Now, we just did a bond release for that. We just released $55,000, we left $20,000 for the remaining work. I can tell you that the planning and zoning, I did ask staff, because no one has been out there
Sense?
to say that, I mean, he sent a letter saying it's been done, but no one.
Okay, motion
in the
that we
offing.
table
Oh.
this until the next meeting.
Okay, because no one has been out there to confirm whether the work has been done or not.
Okay, so Denise has not been out there, or we just don't know?
No.
because she's not
No,
here?
no one has been.
Okay.
I checked with Conrad and anybody, so
Okay. All right, so
You
we're
wanna
going to table
table
this to
that?
the next, what?
table it.
Yeah,
Okay.
table it to the next meeting. Okay, time extensions, which I will recuse myself from. It's,
Jane, any comment?
Okay, has anybody read that? We got this tonight. Did anybody read it? Yep, having to do with the time extension?
No, I missed that one.
Only 3 months to,
What's the reason behind the request?
it's all listed here, that they want more time to do the combining of the parcels. They need to create plans showing the remediation to the access way, and a plan showing labeled quantities and species of plants. So they don't have,
That was their original remediation approval that you guys just did.
all right, this is a remediation, remember, it is not.
Well, it's development
wait a minute,
and
it is-
remediation.
Yeah. Okay,
It's like development and remediation, so the remediation date, the deadline is October 15th.
oh, okay.
And the condition A deadline is April 7th, so they're asking for another 90 days.
The condition A is the,
Is the
is
time
part
when
of
they
the-
get their stuff together here. I'll show
so that's not part of the remediation, it's part of the development.
you. No, it's part of what they need to do before they can start filing. It's this condition right here, which means they need to complete a final set of plans, and there were requirements made about about showing 5 Victoria to be filed on the land record and all that. So that's what they're asking for. I just didn't know if that somehow changes the remediation, although they're
No, it
not
shouldn't
asking-
change the remediation,
Okay.
I think that's why we
So,
put two
so it's
separate
just
dates.
another 90 days, and that puts them at,
That would bring July
July
7th,
6th.
is what they're requesting,
Yeah.
July 7th.
okay.
So do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the 90-day extension for
Second.
IWC 2019-12R.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Okay. Jim and Stu. And all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Good.
Okay, so I can get him back down.
They're pushing their luck here with the commencement of remediation work.
Keith, you can come on down.
That's my key.
Keep this, guys.
Keep that?
We may need it in the future.
You're asking a lot.
I know, but he dumps it out on his way out the door, I know.
There's a lot of paper here. How do you file it all?
Oh, don't ask.
Again, there's an agent approval for 19 Nelson Brook Drive Road. It's an in-ground pool and shed. I don't know if she has anything over here for it.
It's just a notification to us that she did.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
need to.
usually.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
The, so, go ahead.
Okay, so we're to permitted uses as of right. IPU-2018-01, Department of Public Works, road repair, replacement, or general maintenance. IW Regulations, Section 4.2C, expires 3/28/2023.
So Chris Nowacki, the Director of Public Works, notified me today, well, actually notified Denise, that they were replacing the failing and deteriorating drainage pipe located between 21 and 25 Greenwood Drive, and that it would fall under that permit. They are using DPW work, machines and what have you, and they will keep, safety measures in effect for that. 34 IPU 2020-05, 34 Georges Lane was an emergency septic repair. IPU 2020-06 is 41 Redcoat Lane, and this was, I think, already in a previously disturbed area, and so there was a removal of stumps. Denise had gone out there, some pruning, and that, I think they're actually going to replant over there, so that was
Okay.
that.
Okay, so enforcement, deliberation on completed remediation submissions,
Don't have
which
any.
we don't have any. Then nothing anywhere in enforcement. So
Right.
we're general discussions and other minutes of January 22nd, 2020, and February 26th, 2020.
February 26th, you just got today, so you might
could
want to
table
table
them, that would
those
be
if you
good.
want.
Okay, so we're tabling which one, the 20
The 26th,
minutes?
yeah.
And what about the 22nd, January 22nd?
You should have,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
gonna discuss
those-
that.
Let me ask you a quick question before we do that.
Yeah.
What's this, what's on the last page here?
The last page?
Yeah, page 3.
Those are, the 64 under enforcement, that's an enforcement issue, and they are going to, when they came in to discuss it, they said they would submit a remediation plan by April 7th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a placeholder.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, all right.
That's all it
So
is.
so
So
we're
we-
not, nothing that we're discussing tonight?
No, you don't, no, it's just placeholder, so I don't lose it. It doesn't fall off the agenda.
Okay, minutes. Move to approve with some changes.
A motion to move the minutes with changes. Commissioner Spence, do you have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Stewart. Mr. Spence?
What I
Further
wanted
changes.
to do was to add, under section 11, 48 Cold Spring Road. Oh, I wanted to add to it that the work was to be done in accordance with Eric Davison, who is the environmentalist, except for the cutting of the spruce trees, and the Christmas fern should not be mown, which is probably all not really very necessary, but it's just something I thought about at the time. I don't know, what do you think?
Was that discussed during that meeting?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Yes, we definitely discussed it, but whether or not it's probably, never mind. I'm going to amend my minute, it's approve the minutes for January 22nd as presented.
Presented. We have a second by Commissioner Stewart, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention?
BJ,
The minutes are
Have to
accepted.
abstain.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he's
Oh, you
abstaining.
abstained, yeah, I'm sorry, I go too fast.
he wasn't on the panel yet.
Okay, one abstention.
What's
Okay,
this?
yeah, I can look, okay.
Motion, minutes accepted.
Sorry?
Yep, so we're moving on, right? We're ready?
Yes, yeah.
Regulation Amendment Committee?
Nothing.
More
Yeah.
Public
Actually,
outreach?
yeah, did we give them to Barbara?
Yes,
Oh, we're not going to.
yeah.
Public Outreach Committee?
Nothing.
Okay. Correspondence, letter from Attorney Joel Green of Green and Gross PC dated 1/20/2020.
That's the same letter, wasn't it, the one we all got?
It is, we tabled it from the last meeting, so you just had never reviewed it. I think everyone had it, and BJ, I think I sent you copies of those.
I have.
It's just for commissioners to know. I have no comment on it, I'm sorry. I do.
Anybody want to discuss that letter?
Yeah, it's the same discussion that we had in previous meetings, though.
Is there any,
It's just the same thing over again.
I think it's, I mean, it's on the agenda, we want to take it off, I guess we have to make some kind of, I don't know, do we have to say something about
For
it?
what?
Well, if it's gonna keep coming up, we have to make
No,
some.
no, it's just that it's something that you all know, if you wanted to discuss it, you all got a copy of it. You don't have to discuss
Do you
it.
want to discuss this letter?
No, because we
Okay.
spent
Think
over
we-
2 hours
We
with
think
him
we wait
talking
until they're
about it.
back in front of us.
Yeah, but it's,
Okay,
it
we
looks
have a
like it's
letter
gonna be an
from-
early night. If we table it to another time, that could be a late night.
It's not tabling, you're not tabling it.
No,
You
we're not
just-
Something we have to discuss at some point, right?
Well, I think
No,
it's
No,
gonna
no,
You
no, it's
can
gonna
just-
come up,
addressed.
it's gonna come up when they do
You-
the remediation plan, he's probably gonna show up again.
It just lets you know that you all received that.
Oh.
And if you want to talk about it, you can. If you don't want to, you all read it and said, okay, we're aware. That's
you for
fine
the-
too. It's solely at the discretion of the commission.
Okay, the next one is letter from Attorney Stephen Finn of Wolf C. Rosen, Queskin, and Kuryansky LLP dated 1/28/2020, which is, I think, a rebuttal to the first letter, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Which was discussed in prior meetings with them both going,
And I think they're both going the same way. I tell you what, though, look at their list of fancy attorneys with the raised, it's like Braille.
now I got a question about this other last thing. Are we gonna go to this next one? Can we go to the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the next. All right, so, no discussion on the letter from Attorney Stephen Finn. Okay, email and photo from Peter Metropolis regarding stone sale at 64 Cambridge Drive. This,
What-
I think, we got.
What does that really matter to us if he's selling? It's part of the cleanup, they're cleaning up the site. If they crush the stone, because there's big, I mean, he bought the property, it's got a bunch of broken up, you know, rock. So if he's crushing it and
Well-
selling it, that's not anything on us.
correct, but he just wanted, I did speak with Mr. Metropolis, and I did explain to him that the sale of gravel did not fall under the inland wetland purview, is that was a zoning issue. But that, of course, anyone that wants to give information to the commission, I am obligated to pass
Okay,
along.
okay.
And
That's what I'm trying to figure out, like, why are
So
we
that is what I
getting
did.
photos of them selling gravel that they made from which was
He
there
just
for the
wanted the
last,
commission to
how many
know.
years this site's been opened? For over what, over 15 years?
No,
No?
more like, yeah.
No, nothing.
It's close, it's real close, right?
Started in
Almost
2004.
15, probably, close to 15.
But I mean, all they're doing is instead of like taking out all that junk rock that they dug the first time and shipping it somewhere else, they're just breaking it up and selling it as gravel, so.
Well, I think the point is that they said, they keep telling us that they're not doing.
Well, they're not digging, yes, they're not digging, but they're,
There was a lot of interesting intercourse last meeting.
That was the thing, this is sort of output from the discussion that came up last week.
Except this is the neighbor who's complaining about the work that they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
This is their battle.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. It's a big battle.
Dirty laundry is busy.
Not a pretty battle.
We're getting in the
So-
middle.
So I think,
You know, co-owners of several of the.
on the 7th, right? It's April 7th.
You did that.
That's when they're gonna submit an app, yeah, that's
That's our
when they
next
said.
meeting too, right? No, we
No,
have more in March.
March 20,
Just a little bit of a
I just had
contentious
it.
discussion.
We also have a letter, it's not on the agenda, but we have a letter from Eversource having to do with work that they're doing in town, just
Oh,
so, in
it's
case
just the right
anybody
of way
wasn't
tree
just
trimming.
Yeah, Eversource is working in town.
Oh, I got a question. Eversource is actually doing a decent job with what they're clearing, but have you guys seen 84? With what the state has been doing? It looks like a war field, like, you go past, I work in Danbury, so I'm going there constantly.
Yeah,
They have destroyed all of Mother Nature down the sides. It looks like someone just took a bomb and decided to bomb
My God.
along the side of the roads. The trees are destroyed. There is machine gouges in the soil, and it's gone. All the trees and stuff, they just yanked all the stuff out, but they left stumps. There's stumps there. There's
Oh,
sit
man.
there, and they're not planting. They don't want to. They're not going to replant.
Well, yeah, but it's all.
But they said
It's all
and
for
they're
safety.
using the same, no, it's not safety, they're also saying, this is also a blight, there is a bunch of bugs in the trees. Sitting there going, yeah, but you just destroyed, and you made it look ugly, I mean, it's so ugly right now.
Well, not dissimilar, I think, from what they did to the Parkway all the way up too. They just,
Yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah,
You know.
they had a bunch of
Well, actually,
tree
the
clearing
Parkway,
guys
at
work,
least, they
that's
kept
for
it
sure.
nice, they neatened it a little
They
bit.
did
with-
neaten it up
they-
after
The
they
wood
done-
chips make it, at least you can grow something there that will grow back, but
Hopefully.
they didn't do anything on 84. 84, looks like they just.
well, I move to adjourn.
Oh,
We have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner
That's
Spence.
Lois.
And second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Gingras. All in favor?
Aye.
Any,
on the,
any objections?
you go down
Any
111 where
abstentions?
it hits 34.
I think the motion passes. Meeting is adjourned
No,
at
that's bad.
8:15
That is stuff
PM.
that-
New world record.
Record.